Hi, welcome to episode 45 of Talk About the Passion, God of Thunder. And as you probably guessed, this is named after the Kiss song of the same name. Kiss has been an ongoing common band discussed in this podcast since the beginning. My guest today is Chris Giguere. We have been friends on social media for a little while now, and I did meet him for the first time a few days before this, when his band Conclave opened for Conan at Great Scott in Alston, Mass. Chris also did time in bands Tenebrae and Panzerbastard. Chris was a great guest. We talk, of course, about Kiss, and we somehow end right on Insane Clown Posse. It was nice of him to make the trek out here, but as you'll hear in the episode, he grew up not too far from where I'm at on the Rhode Island border. On the mic and after, off mic, we got into some pretty heavy stuff, and I think we have a lot of similar outlooks on music and life in general. A couple more things before we get into the episode. You can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen to podcasts. We're even on Spotify and YouTube at this point. If you're on iTunes and like what you hear and have a second, leave a comment and a review. It's appreciated, and it's always nice to hear what people think. I'm on social media, Facebook and Instagram, which I update pretty regularly. And these are also places you can contact me if you or someone you know would like to be on an upcoming episode. Let's get this episode started. This is episode 45, God of Thunder. Thanks for listening. So I'm here with Chris Giguere. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming all the way down here to this neck of the woods.
Oh, not a problem. Scenic Rentham.
Yeah.
I love it down here.
But so if you grew up in this area?
I grew up about 10 minutes from here in Blackstone.
Okay.
And it's pretty much the same thing as right here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know what Blackstone, Massachusetts is, it borders Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Yes, it does.
And, how would you describe that area?
It was actually the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. But back in the day, it was like big in textiles and stuff like that. And then it just kind of faded away. And now it's like, you got a 7-Eleven and a stoplight in town and a gas station, and that's it.
Yeah.
So if you blink, you missed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because, my graduating class has only 94 people.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
So that gives you an idea how small the school was, you know what I mean? And that was for two towns, Blackstone and Millville.
Oh, right,
Because they combined them both,
Yep. Yeah.
Because there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough people to have their own school in Millville, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So,
And what did you do there for fun growing up?
Well, skateboarding.
Yeah.
Dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Shooting guns, anything like that, because I live pretty close to the woods, you know what I mean? So, you could get away with doing stuff like that,
Yeah. Yes.
Skateboarding got us into trouble, we were considered fags.
Yeah, of course.
And stuff like that, You got a skateboard haircut, all you heard was, hey, faggot, when people were driving by.
Yep. The same thing.
But
that seems to be a common theme between a lot of us on this that I've talked to on this.
And everyone in these small towns, they're really closed-minded.
Yeah.
So anytime someone showed a little bit of individualism, they shit all over you, you know what I mean?
Course.
So, I was the kid in 8th grade that had long hair, and, you were a hippie faggot if you had long hair, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get into skateboard and you shave your head off, and then, the lady across the street would call me a Nazi because I had a shaved head.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Where are you coming up with all this stuff, you know what I mean?
And these are the people that just stay forever in these areas. And
because I'll get friend requests from people on Facebook, and they've never left Blackstone, you know what I mean? So they don't know what it's like to go anywhere else, and they're still the same people they were in high school, and I didn't want to be friends with them then.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to be friends with you now either, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely, so music, when did that come into your life?
There was always music playing in the house. My dad was really into Zeppelin, Allman Brothers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my mom, she always had a stack of 45s, so I was constantly going through those.
Nice.
A lot of 50s stuff at first, Yakety Yak.
Oh yeah.
Bill Haley and the Comets, and my dad was always playing Allman Brothers,
Yeah.
AC/DC,
Nice.
Zeppelin, and then obviously the journey that everyone else comes on. You find Kiss at a very young age,
Yeah.
and it was around 1980.
Yeah.
And I was completely enamored.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ace is out there. His guitar's on fire.
Right.
There's blood everywhere.
Yeah. How did you first discover them?
My cousin John,
Yeah.
he had posters on the wall, and I would go over to his house
Yeah.
and pilfer through his records, and I'd make him play them for me.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then not long after that, my uncle was going to jail,
Oh, yeah.
and he dropped off a crate of records at my
Oh,
house.
really?
Because, he saw I was into Kiss and stuff,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
I'm thumbing through it, and it's like Sabbath,
Oh, nice.
a little bit of Raven,
Yeah.
Blue Oyster
Oh,
Cult,
wow. Nice.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
The first couple Maiden records,
Yeah.
and the first one that I picked out of there was Black Sabbath Live Evil.
Oh, nice.
And I think I stared at the gatefold on that for like 2 weeks,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was terrified to
Oh,
play
yeah.
it. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And then, as soon as the needle hit the turntable, that
Yeah. That
that
Neon
was
Nights
it. You
that
know what I
starts
mean?
that
Yeah,
one, I think.
that was it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. That was your introduction to Sabbath.
That was,
I like a lot of people don't like
A lot
that.
of people shit on it, but
Yeah.
he's
I like how he does the Aussie songs.
the
for most
later
part.
Aussie stuff. I mean, like Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy. The first time that he heard those songs is when he was going in to do vocals.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he was almost way removed
Right.
at that point
Oh, of
anyway.
course, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the Dio stuff, and then Number of the Beast was in
Oh,
there,
nice.
and that was it. That
Yeah.
sealed it for me. That's probably one of my favorite records of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's one of the few records that you can listen to start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
Not skip through a track.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And there's certain parts on it too, like even now that the hair stands up on my
Oh, yeah,
neck
of
when
course.
I hear it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because
Yeah, same
it brings
here.
you back to a certain time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of the ones for me. There's a few of those that
Yeah, definitely.
that I consider my first time where I heard what I would call heavy metal.
Yeah.
I heard heavy stuff before that, and Zeppelin and Sabbath, but you didn't call that metal. At least
No.
me but when I heard Iron Maiden and the term metal, and
That was it. I was on my way after
Yeah.
that.
So was this uncle someone that you had talked to about music and stuff? as a
No,
kid?
not
Oh,
at
really?
all. Not at all. He was kind of, my dad's brother, and he was kind of a screw up.
Yeah.
And he was going to jail for I don't know, a couple of years for breaking and entering or something
Right.
like that. And he didn't want the records to go to waste.
Yeah.
And he knew I kind of liked music
Right.
and stuff like that. So he gave them to me. You know
Nice.
what I mean? I wish I still had them all, but
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You
Right.
know? You can't tote records around
Right,
for
right.
35 years.
Yeah, yeah, right.
years, you know what I mean? As much as you wish you could,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I know.
But
Yeah, I just started buying them again because I was moving around so much that I had maybe this many records, and now that I feel
you get
relatively
space.
settled here and I have some space, but now I'm just thinking if I ever have to fucking move again, I gotta put all these fucking things in boxes.
Yeah, I know. You
again.
need a pickup truck just to move your records. You know?
Yeah, and then also I'm like, do I really need fucking multiple I've gotten into that fucking world, which is
Oh, you get I gotta have this on red, and then that one's on gold,
Yeah.
and I gotta have that
yeah,
too.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you gotta pay your fucking electric bill too.
Well, yeah, that's what it comes down to
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
too. You know.
Yeah. So Kiss. Did you see the movie when you were a kid?
I didn't see the movie.
Yeah.
I'm a little younger than a lot of the other
Yeah.
people you have on here.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see the movie.
Yeah.
I did see him when just after I turned 8.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it was January '83 because
Yeah.
it was the Creatures of the Night tour.
Oh, nice.
And it was in Worcester.
Yeah.
And I had been begging
Yeah,
for 2 years to go
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Kiss. And finally they took me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My parents, that was my birthday present for that
Yeah.
year.
Nice.
So I was stoked after
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean?
Was that your first show?
That was my first
nice.
show. Yeah.
Nice. Do you remember who opened on that? I wonder who opened.
I
that tour.
don't. I think a lot of people said it was Night Ranger.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
but I don't remember. I was in Kiss mode. So,
Right, yeah.
So I couldn't have cared
Yeah,
less for
I
the
know,
opener.
same
You
here.
know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
want to say it was Night Ranger.
Yeah.
I could
yeah.
be wrong.
Yeah. And so they became like your band.
That was my band.
Yeah.
But as the '80s rolled around,
Yeah.
and Gene Simmons started becoming a dick.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Some of the stuff that was in the 80s was
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Lick It Up was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy Nights was good.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Animalize was pretty good.
There's some
You
of
know,
those catchy pop
some
songs.
pretty good, bubblegum pop
Right.
songs. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But like everyone else, Kiss, Iron Maiden, that morphs into Metallica,
Yeah.
and Slayer, and it's just the spiral. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So after Kiss, how did you kind of get to more heavy stuff? Just
I used to go probably 10 minutes from here in Woonsocket. There was a store called Sounds Abound,
okay.
and I used to ride my BMX bike there on Saturday
Nice.
with my paper route money,
Yeah.
and I was always looking for something.
Yeah.
That's why I got like Bark at the Moon,
Oh yeah.
Shout at the Devil, stuff like that,
Yeah.
because that was like Peace of Mind, stuff
Right.
like that. Even though
Yeah.
Peace of Mind at that point had probably been out for a couple of years already. But yeah, that was like the next step.
Nice.
And I couldn't wait to go there and blow money on
Yeah,
records
yeah,
every
of
week.
course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Now, did you start going to more concerts after the Kiss one?
I went to Kiss. I went to Motley Crue and Ozzy.
Yeah.
And then for a couple of years, I didn't go to anything.
Yeah. And was this like Worcester or Providence?
I want to
Worcester
say
and
it was
Providence?
Rocky Point or something.
Oh yeah,
like
they used
that.
to have shows out there.
Back in the day. I
Yeah.
want to say that. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. I know there's so many weird venues in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it was
like
something
Cape
like that.
Cod and but I know Providence is a lot of people down here.
I was
really-
fairly fortunate because a friend of the family, they worked for Reebok.
Oh yeah.
And at the time, they were a sponsor of the Civic Center.
Oh yeah.
So any big show that came through,
Yeah.
my friends, they would get tickets.
Yeah.
I would tag along. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So we get to see Metallica with Cliff.
Oh nice.
All the big shows that
Yeah,
came
yeah.
through back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Kiss, I think, on Crazy Nights.
Oh nice.
I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah.
Well, just mainly like
Yeah.
the bigger arena
Right,
stuff that came
right.
through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that point, I was like starting to get way deeper into metal.
Yeah.
And the bubblegum stuff was
Yeah.
getting lost by the wayside.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus I started skating, and you read Thrasher,
Yeah.
and that opened your eyes up to a lot of stuff that,
Yeah.
because I lived in a small town. You didn't have the scene or anything.
Right,
you
right.
had nobody to teach you about that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, you're reading it in the pages,
Yeah. Yeah. So did you then start discovering hardcore from there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who were some of your early
The Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, this woman who moved in next door to us, I was doing yard work for him.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I have some records. You can have them." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And it was In God We Trust Incorporated.
Oh nice.
A couple of Ramones records, stuff like that. And that started that journey.
Yeah.
And then the Misfits,
Yeah.
the Pistols,
Yeah, yeah.
Black Flag,
Yeah.
who I still love. Mm-hmm. And then that opened your eyes to Agnostic Front.
Yeah.
The Cro-Mags a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then some of the local stuff too. Slapshot,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrecking Crew,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Now when did you start going to see bands like that?
First hardcore show I want to say was 87.
Mm-hmm.
Slapshot and Intent to Injure.
Oh yeah.
And I got my ass beat at that show because I didn't know what I was walking
Yeah, I was gonna
into,
say,
you know
so
what I
that
mean?
that's
I came home with a black eye and a fat lip,
Yeah. Yeah. So your impression of that from going from like, big concerts. I know when I first went to my first.
Oh, I was
hardcore
terrified
shows.
at first, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But then,
Yeah.
you're at home and you're reading lyrics and,
Yeah.
you get a shitty home life.
Yeah.
Because your dad's a drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're reading stuff that these kids feel the same way as
Yeah,
you do.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it kind of,
Yeah.
that kind of dragged you in even more. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. It's an escape too. From
Yeah,
like, the
exactly.
shitheads
You know what I
went to-
mean? Because my dad was a fucking
Yeah.
vicious alcoholic, you
Yeah.
know? So, and he beat the shit out of me all the time. So that was an
That was a
escape,
good
too.
escape,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And then
So-
from idiots at school and in that whole world and.
Oh, yeah. The hey faggot, because,
Yeah.
I was the type of kid where, I'd wear an Iron Maiden shirt one day.
Yeah.
But I love The Cure, too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd wear a Cure shirt.
Right.
And then, get beat up. Oh, you like the faggot stuff?
Right.
Or you a homo?
Right.
That's the shit you hear. You know what I mean? You still hear it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because people are just ignorant.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Yep. And then, so Slapshot and Intent to Injure. And what kind of bands were you going to see after that?
I think I saw 7 Seconds back then.
Yeah.
That was great because that was fun, and I don't think anyone got beat up.
Yeah. And now, were you going to the shows closer down here?
Yeah, it was Providence.
So you're more Providence.
Because I could skate to Woonsocket and take the bus, and it would drop you over Kennedy Plaza. And from Kennedy Plaza to Babyhead, it was a 5-minute walk. You know what I mean? So
so we're Blackstone where we are right now, or Rentham where we are, is like a half hour from Providence. So for people that wouldn't know, that would just make more sense to be.
Yeah, and I mean back then the bus ride was like $1.50 or something like that, So you could go down there, skate all day, go to a show, and come home.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And did you ever end up? You obviously ended up starting to go to shows up in Boston too after.
Yeah, definitely, because that's where I was going off. You know what I mean? And luckily, I had parents that were fairly trusting.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty responsible with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go up there? See you later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would go up there and I would roam the streets all night.
Yeah.
And then come back the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know anybody.
Yeah, of
but I
course.
wanted to see the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And did you start making friends though at shows? Because I know when I was kind of I kept to myself more.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. You know what I mean? Because you'd never know it that I'm shy. You know what I mean? But back then, you're 13, 14. And you're still kind of awkward, and you got social anxiety, which manifested itself even for later on in life, like now.
Yeah.
But
there was like 300 of you all in the same fucking club.
Yeah.
So that's what I think people like us kept going back.
But then you turn 15 or so.
Yeah.
And you start opening up a little more, and then you start meeting people. Yeah. And even now, like some of the people I know, I've known them for 30-something years.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
you
build great friendships over over music. You know.
I know, it's crazy.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. When did you start playing music?
Oh, geez, I'm gonna say it was between 8th and 9th grade, so I'm gonna say 88.
Yeah.
88, 89. I bought my first guitar.
Yeah. And who were some of your influences? I bet it's
James Hetfield.
James Hetfield, yeah.
Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
Spike from DRI.
Oh, nice.
Jeff Hanneman.
Yeah.
And those are pretty much the main ones.
Yeah.
Vinny Stigma, even though he was terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just liked it. But those were the main influences. Probably James Hetfield and Spike.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get my feet wet, so I was like really concentrating on playing rhythm guitar, you know, and those were the big ones.
Yeah, nice.
And because we lived close to the woods, my parents would let us jam in the basement, so there was always we were always jamming. There was we had drums down there, and we'd make a racket. It took a little while for us to actually sound like something, but like. We'd be bashing out like Misfit songs,
nice
stuff like that. You know what I mean? And luckily, my parents were fairly open-minded, where they didn't care. I wasn't out doing drugs,
of course,
or whatever. When I was playing music, it was something constructive. And it was great.
Nice. What was the first guitar you
got? It was actually a Hagstrom.
Yeah.
Swedish. I bought it off this kid who lived up the street. His dad had it.
Okay.
And every time I went over his house, I was like trying to peek in the case. And I think I bought it off him for like $35 or something. And it didn't take me long to outgrow that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting like a Court Strat copy or something like that. And then after that, I saved and I just kept getting better guitars after that. But that was the journey, the Hagstrom.
Nice.
And my dad saw I was trying to taking it seriously. Mm-hmm. He bought me a little Gorilla amp.
Oh, yeah.
That sounded absolutely terrible. But it was something to play out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and then what was that like the first time you plugged into it? It's pretty cool because
it was gut-wrenching. The amp just sounded terrible.
Yeah,
you could actually hear yourself play, you know what I mean? And, as you're jamming along, you can hear yourself getting better at the same time, you know?
Of course.
So that was pretty cool.
Nice. And so for early bands, what was your first band that you would, was actually kind of a serious band?
I don't know. There were so many back then. I mean, none of them really, in the early days, really amounted to anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to say, I don't even remember some of the names of some of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But we would, we practiced with this kid Chuck in Bellingham, over off Center Street, and he was a little bit older, so he had a car.
Yeah.
And we used to go to the WAG in Worcester.
Yeah.
And they had like open mic night sometimes.
Yeah.
And we'd bring all our stuff and we'd jam out some tunes up there. But nothing really serious till maybe, I don't know, the late 90s, because I didn't think I was good enough, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I sat in the woodshed for a long time, trying to build my chops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to like go try out for a band and suck, you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So, after that, and then, I played drums the whole time too, because...
Oh, really? Yeah.
In the fourth grade, they come around, they want you to take an instrument.
Yeah, yeah.
And at first they wanted me to play the clarinet, and I was like, clarinet's gay. And then, then I was like, and I started playing the drums.
Yeah.
And I if I still had a drum kit now, I'd still play.
Yeah.
But then I started a band with my brother, and he was like idiot savant on the bass.
Oh, yeah.
We got him a bass. Like 2 weeks later, he was like Steve Harris. He was
really?
that good.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And like no formal training at all.
Yeah.
He put in Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
And he could play it start to finish on the bass.
That's awesome.
And like I'm like just looking at him and I'm like, dude, what are you doing to my mind?
Right,
You're blowing my mind.
That's awesome.
So him and I played like this street punk band called Suspended Sentence.
Okay.
And kind of based out of Providence. And
yeah.
it was like kind of melodic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fast as hell too at the same time.
Yeah.
And kind of wasn't into that for a while. After a while.
Yeah.
The singer, guitar player, he wanted to. Oddly enough, he quit and joined a band.
Yeah.
That was the direction that I wanted to go in the band, because it was more like Discharge.
Oh, nice.
And that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But my brother wanted nothing to do with that, because he was more into like Oi and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, that's cool and all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, we got to pick a direction here, because some of it sounded like The Exploited.
Right.
And some of it sounded like Forced Reality.
Right.
Which I love both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a side, I'd go to The Exploited.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Just because of the more metallic influence on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
so,
then,
so you had a brother that was also into music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
He's like a severe drug addict now. But
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But like back then, he was on the bass. Oh my God.
Nice.
You know, and you would have never thought it. The amount of time it took him to get good.
Yeah.
Was like mind blowing.
Huh.
He was like that good.
Yeah. And did you guys do Iron Maiden songs?
No, we did. We did a lot of Judas Priest covers. Oddly enough, you know, like we would do Breaking the Law.
Yeah.
And I forget what the hell else we were gonna do. I always wanted to do Hellbent for Leather, but he would never want to do it. He said it was queer. And then we started doing like Broken Bones covers and stuff like that. And then I got married, and my ex-wife didn't want me to. Music was stupid to her, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I was like, well, I'm going to play music anyway. You know?
Right.
So I joined this metal band out of Providence called Acetylene. And they had kind of like dual vocals, like Overcast.
Yeah.
They were really, really good, but then it's just, they broke up.
Yeah.
You know, and that was it.
Yeah.
And, you know, for a couple of years I didn't play.
Yeah.
Because my ex-wife was like, I don't want you to play. Playing.
Right.
Like, she didn't want me to ride motorcycles.
Right.
She didn't want me to play guitar.
Right.
She basically wanted me to stay home. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? So obviously that marriage didn't last very long, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
So, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But then after that, I actually didn't play for a while because she kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about it. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, you know, if I'm going to get into another relationship, I don't want it to end the same way this did. You know, I love music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And luckily now the woman I'm with, she's like totally supportive. You know, she'll go to every show. And,
nice.
You know, she loves that I play. You know, because it's an outlet. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Not only like physically, but like it's like mental therapy too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
yeah,
like
any kind of creative.
A lot of people don't understand that. It's a good outlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there was that, and then I didn't play for a long time.
Yeah.
I just like jammed in the house, and got really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started coming up here, up to Boston, and hanging out with Keith and Panzerbastard.
Yeah.
And eventually they sacked their guitar player, Bobby.
Yeah.
And they let me try out.
Nice.
And I got the gig.
Yeah.
And I spent just about 2 years playing with them.
Nice.
And it was a great fucking time.
Yeah.
But, in the end, me and Keith are better off being friends.
Yeah, than being in a band.
And then being in a band together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, I'm proud of everything I did in that band.
Yeah.
I love that band, you know what I mean? But it wasn't meant to be,
Yeah.
and I love Keith. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be friends with him than be in a band with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure he feels the same way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
That's
and then right after that, I joined Tenebrae.
Yep.
And I think we played a couple shows together up in Beverly with, Mark from the Unseen and Bobby Falzano. Mm-hmm. He's actually in the Unseen now, too.
All right.
What a phenomenal drummer.
Yeah.
He was in, like, Blood for Blood.
Oh, yeah.
He toured with Annihilator.
Yeah.
He's like a Berkeley kid,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he can play the Annihilator stuff with his eyes closed.
Yeah. And Slapshot's bassist.
Packer, Ryan Packer.
Was in the band.
And I was in that band for like 2 years, and nobody ever wanted to practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm paying $30 a month at the Sound Museum,
Right.
to basically for nothing.
Yeah.
And finally we're just like, well, if I'm not gonna play,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hang it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
But that was like a band that really could have been something if everyone dedicated their time.
Yeah.
But Packer had Slapshot and
Right.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
And Bobby Falzano, he had a son. Mm-hmm. So his time was limited. Plus he was working like second and third shift or something like that.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my girlfriend lived right down the street. Mm-hmm. So it was no problem for me to get there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he lived up in Newburyport.
Oh, right.
So he was driving from Newburyport to Alston.
Yeah.
And Mark only lives in Walpole, and which isn't that bad of a ride to Alston, you know what I mean, if you go the back way.
Yeah.
And then after that, I didn't play for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then, I was looking for a gig here and there, and I never really found anything.
Yeah.
And then the band I'm in now, Conclave,
Yeah.
they had put up a post saying that Terry Savastano was leaving the band. Mm-hmm. So, just for shits and giggles, I just put it out there. I said, hey, I introduced myself. I said, blah, blah, blah. I said, if you guys need a guitar player, let me know.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear from him.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that's that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that was like August of 17.
Yep.
And the beginning of 18, I got an email from the drummer, Dan.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're looking for a guitar player. We're going to start trying people out.
Yeah.
Went from Boston to Fitchburg.
Yeah.
Down Route 2. Shitty ride.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was on Sunday, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And I go up there for about a month of practices. Mm-hmm. And, like, I thought I hit it off pretty well with all personally.
Yeah.
And to me, I'd almost rather be in a band with someone that I could get along with.
Right.
Even though they're not, like, that great of a musician.
Right.
Because I'd rather vibe with somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no personality clashes,
Yeah.
So we went out there. They're all older guys our age, 46, 47 years old. Mm-hmm. They got families.
Yeah.
Got jobs. Priorities are in check.
Yeah.
And we got along because we all had the same sense of humor,
Right.
Yeah. We joke about Caddyshack and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
of
that,
course.
Yeah. Bass player Jerry loves Kiss.
Yeah.
I love Kiss.
Yep.
We hit it off personally, and then finally I was like, well, geez, been coming out here for a month and a half. They can't tell me I get the fucking gig or not. I was like, I think I do, but then finally they're like, oh yeah, all right, we had a talk, and they're like, hey, if you want to play with us, that's cool.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, that'd be great, man. That's awesome. So for a year and a half now, I've been playing with them.
Nice. And what kind of stuff? How would you explain?
I don't know. It's so really tough to explain because there's so many elements of it. I mean, everyone says it's like doom metal.
Yeah.
But you can hear Slayer in there.
Yeah.
You can probably hear like Autopsy in there. You know?
Like I was saying the other night to you, like people pigeonhole bands into one thing, but you can always kind of hear, at least people like us that listen to tons of stuff, and have spent time with a lot of these like heavy bands. You can hear where everyone's sort of coming from.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you can definitely hear that.
So like, you know, and you could probably you definitely hear Slayer in there. Yeah. Stuff like that. And, you know, it's really hard to explain. Yeah. I mean, I guess in the end, it's just a metal band. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you wouldn't want to pigeonhole yourself into, you know, oh, we're this, we're that. You know, we're doom with sludge, blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, we're metal and probably lean more towards the doom side. But that's about.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, some of the stuff we're writing now, because I'm an old hardcore kid.
Yeah.
A lot more hooks to it.
Yeah.
More melody.
Right.
And at first, I thought they were like not going to let me write anything.
Right.
Just because you know previous experiences in other bands.
Yeah.
And then you know, some of the stuff I was coming up with, they're like, dude, that's great.
Oh, nice.
You know, so it made me feel good that the stuff I was coming up with creatively.
Yeah.
Was being taken seriously, you know, so we could actually write stuff.
Yeah. And that has to come from you taking all this time to like practice and try to get, you know, bring yourself up to a level where
definitely
you can walk into a band and you know.
Well, you know, guys like us, we're used to playing through hardcore songs,
right?
Where, you know, if that song was 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Goddamn, that's a long song.
Yeah.
You know, but then I went into jam with those guys.
Yeah.
And the songs are 7-8 minutes long.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm like, oh, geez, it's like a marathon now. You know, this is like 8 hardcore songs in here, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when I played that show with my old band with Al, Shattered Silence, I hadn't played like hardcore like that in a while. I played in that band Presley for a while, and it was more like effects and, you know, more set of slow strumming and stuff. So to go from like playing, even though we played for 25 minutes, but just strumming like that for that long, I was like, fuck, I can't.
Forearm hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, you kind of forget how hard that stuff is to play.
It's, you know, so been doing that.
Yeah, nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's good being in a band with adults.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no drama. You know, there's not one time that I've driven out to Worcester to go to practice where I was like, oh, fuck this. I don't wanna fucking go.
Yeah,
fuck
of course.
these guys, blah, blah, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually look forward to it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like you said before, like, people need a creative outlet, especially when you get older. And if you're married and have kids and a steady job, you want to spend a few hours a night being creative or just hanging with these people and being creative together. And
I mean, sometimes we end up, you know, more of it's kind of a bullshit session.
Yeah.
You know, we drink Miller and, you know, have fun, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we get to see them once a week, you know what I mean? So, we'll go there at 3, you know, we'll play to maybe 5:30 and then we'll have a bullshit session or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's cool too.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I can flap my gums all night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now with music in general in the scenes, how do you feel like, you know, when we grew up, you know, this always sounds like an old person saying this, but I feel like nowadays kids aren't going to get the same discovery.
No, I don't think so either, because everything's so available on the web, you know what I mean? Like, there's something to be said for going to the record store and flipping through those bins, you know, and looking at the cover and looking at the gatefold or something and saying, oh, wow, this is pretty fucking cool, you know?
Yeah. You think anything equals that at this point? I can't think of, aside from, I don't know.
I can't think of it.
Because people there is kids, obviously, that listen to albums and buy records and this and that, but I feel it's like a song-oriented thing, and music is sort of like a background thing for a lot of people nowadays.
Well, I mean, everyone's so plugged in, you know, all the time, so, you know.
On the plus side of that, social media has made, like you and I met, you know, like, so I've met a lot of these people doing the podcasts that I never knew.
That's different. I don't know, for some reason it feels like I've known you for 30 years.
No, exactly. Yeah,
like, and you know what? I could have met you 30 years ago,
we probably
too,
did.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, kids being plugged in now, it's probably hard for them to focus on anything else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because you're bombarded by it 24/7.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Going back to, like, music that you love, what would you say some of your, like, ultimate, not like, you know, desert island discs, but if you, like, wanted to get someone into heavy music, what are some, maybe the top, 3 or 4 records you would?
Everyone has an opinion on Kiss.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't throw Kiss in there. But introduction to heavy music,
Yeah.
I'd probably give them Ride the Lightning,
Yeah.
Master of Puppets,
Yeah.
Peace Cells, stuff like that,
Yeah.
to get their feet wet, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then gradually introduce them, probably the first few Overkill records,
Yeah.
Rain and Blood,
Yeah.
South of Heaven, Show No Mercy,
Right.
stuff like that, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just, not everyone's a big fan of the early Slayer
yeah.
stuff either, you know
I
what I
know.
mean? Even
Waste.
South of Heaven people don't like.
Yeah, why is that? I've just learned that recently. Well, I learned recently that a lot of people hate the one after that,
Seasons of the
Season
Abyss.
of the Abyss.
I love
Is
that
it-
record. I don't
Yeah, I don't know why.
understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would hate that record.
South of Heaven, I don't know. I think maybe it was such a departure from Rain and Blood.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
Rain and Blood was a million miles an hour, and
Right.
then South of Heaven was like mid-tempo.
Yeah,
Like,
but that song is fucking. It's one of their.
I love that record.
Yeah.
The production on it's like really dry.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love it.
It's in your face, and yeah. The first one I heard by them was "Hell Awaits." I was like a hardcore kid, and I was doing a fanzine and interviewed a guy named Rob. I need to contact some people from the band Siege, because there was a period where this guy sang for Siege, but it's not like documented anywhere.
Okay.
I don't think they ever played any shows with him or anything. Mike Gitter had introduced me to this guy.
Okay.
So I interviewed him as a member of Siege in Marblehead, and but there's never been anything else about it. It's probably some sort of fucking. But this is like in 1986 or something when
Right.
I was a kid. But he played me because I was a metalhead first, and then when I got into hardcore, I kind of was like, oh, I can't listen to hard. But he played me Ride the Lightning and Hell Awaits, and those were the two that like I was like, what the fuck is this? But Ride the Lightning would be like mine for.
Oh,
for,
definitely,
like,
definitely.
and Hell Awaits, I love that record. Like it is a different sound, obviously, than what happens after Rain and Blood, but
Oh yeah, definitely.
it has that. It's just a fucking scary record.
I mean,
The way-
Rain and Blood's insane. I don't know how many cassette copies of
Yeah.
that I wore out.
Yeah.
Because there was the same on both sides.
Yeah, it was the same. It was
So
like
back
26
then you had a
minutes.
tape deck. It was auto reverse. So
Yeah.
you'd play it, it would flip.
Yeah.
Play it, it would flip.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one that the fucking writing would be worn out of.
Oh
it.
yeah.
But it didn't matter because
no, because you knew it was on it.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, those first few Overkill records.
yeah,
Maybe the first couple Testament records.
yeah,
Something like that. I mean, that's like the basic,
Yeah.
heavy stuff to
Right.
try to get into. You know what I mean?
yeah. And
Even like when I was getting into stuff, then I heard like Sheer Terror,
Yeah.
Discharge,
yeah,
and all my friends were like, "Oh, that shit sucks." I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?"
yeah,
I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You hear this?" And everyone's like, "No, it's stupid,"
crazy.
And then they were all still into like Kiss,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and I was starting to get down more into the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
Once you hear like Creator,
oh yeah,
and once I heard Entombed,
yeah, oh yeah.
Bolt Thrower.
Yep.
I started even like hardcore at the time. I was like, no, fucking Bolt Thrower is
Yeah.
where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Entombed, Left Hand Path.
Oh yeah,
That's
the 90s for me was, I mean, there was obviously people putting out good hardcore records still, but there was more metal for my
yeah,
fucking for my
definitely.
money.
And then I started really getting the death metal bug.
Oh yeah, yeah. Obituary and stuff like
The
that.
first few Obituary records
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah,
Like the first 4 Morbid Angel records
yeah,
are awesome.
yeah. And that Sheer Terror record, the early stuff is. His guitar tone is Celtic Frost. Was this,
all over it,
Alan,
you know what I
Alan
mean?
Blake. Was that his name?
Yeah, Alan Blake. Yeah, all over it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. So if you couldn't make that connection, like,
And even a lot of people I talk to now, they don't like Celtic Frost.
yeah, really,
They don't like old COC.
really.
You know what I mean? And even like Deliverance when that came
Yeah.
out, COC, I
Yeah.
hated it. I thought
Yeah,
it was
I did
fucking
too.
terrible.
I went back to it
Because
and
I'm like, they go from Eye for an Eye to this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck's going on? Animosity, and then they go to this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, this sucks.
Yeah.
And it took me a few
It
years
took me a long time to get into that
to
one.
get back to it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like even like I hated Appetite for Destruction when
Yeah.
it came out.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, those guys are fucking fags.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
because
I
it wasn't. I was.
Yeah, of
I
course.
wanted heavy,
Yeah.
fast.
yeah, and that stuff when
And
all
then-
that stuff came out, it was like, fuck this. Like,
And for some reason, I withdraw from stuff that people are like over the moon about.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Right.
I don't see the point in it.
Yeah.
You know, and like sometimes like even now, I get pissed off because the stuff that I like, it meant something different to me, and I almost kind of feel like maybe it's getting exploited a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a big part of who I am.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're taking something away from me at that point, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of aggravates me. But, you know, as an old man, I got to learn how to let that shit go. You know?
Same here. I have a problem with, and I'm obviously a huge comedy fan in the snap, but I'm not a fan of, like, the darkness or, like, this ironic metal. Like, when people are, like, ironic about metal and this and that, and, like, sort of into it to kind of make fun of it. I know some of it's corny, but I kind of take it personally because I just like, you know, I don't know. I just think it's when people are like half making fun of metal and being into it, it's just kind of fucking bugged me as someone who's been into it forever.
Yeah,
and,
no,
you know,
exactly.
So that kind of stuff always pisses me off. But same thing. I shouldn't get fucking...
No,
like,
I gotta let it go, you know what I mean? Like, there's no point losing sleep over stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what the internet is good for nowadays. Is people fucking...
Because I guess some of the hardcore stuff that people like over the moon now about, like, you know, like Have Heart or something was having a reunion.
Yeah.
And that was after my time, you know what I mean? So like that to them is like the Cro-Mags to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So like, I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay $200 to go see a hardcore show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if that's your thing, that's your thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I always have to sort of remember, like, not everyone was born in a certain age.
Yeah,
and they got to, you know.
Not everyone grew up in the late 70s, early 80s like us, where, you know, we kind of had it good, where there was a ton of good bands, like a ton of good shows, you know?
Yeah. Now, you were saying you were into The Cure, too, so were you going to shows like that as well during the...
I didn't. I just loved them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I loved them.
Yeah.
And I still love them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they played right down the street from us a couple summers ago.
Yeah, I went to that.
And
it was like 58 songs or something.
I was trying to get tickets, and we couldn't get tickets.
Oh, really? Oh,
I was so upset, because I've never seen them.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And my old lady was upset, too, because she loves them, too.
Yeah.
And, you know, it being right down the street would have been awesome.
Yeah,
you know, but, you know, hopefully they come back and maybe I can get tickets next time they come around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're supposed to. That's the rumor anyway.
Like, see, that's something you would look at me and you like The Cure. You know?
Same
like,
with me,
You know, and I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I love old Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
Like, the early stuff. Even like old hip-hop, like Houdini.
Oh, yeah.
Run DMC. I love all that stuff, you know, because that's all the shit that they played.
Yeah.
Like, you turn on MTV back in the day, that's what was on.
Yeah, it wasn't one genre of music. You'd
You know.
see a rap video, then
they mixed everything else and everything in together, you know?
Yeah,
so you got kind of a hodgepodge of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think people are going to get that nowadays. They just...
Well, no, I mean, is MTV even still on? and do they even play music anymore? Because
I don't think they do,
last time it was all like, what was the show? The Real World?
Oh, yeah.
That's all they had on there. It was just like reality TV.
Like that,
the beginning of reality TV, you know? And I was like, big departure from where they started, you know?
I know. It was sort of the beginning. I know it's funny. They sort of helped music along, and then they just almost didn't kill it, but that was sort of the beginning and the end for music and that kind of thing. So the other night when I saw a part of your set the other night, you played with the band Conan. I think you had said that was like a bucket list.
That was a bucket list show because
I
don't know, they're so fucking heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like the guy the singer John came up to us after the show, and he's like, you guys sound like Autopsy, Slayer, and everything that's good about metal.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like that made me feel real good.
He seems like a sweet guy, that guy.
Oh,
seems like
I could have listened to that guy talk all night.
Yeah,
I was like listening to him,
Yeah.
you know, as he's telling me his life story about, you know, he's kind of a stay-at-home dad. He runs like a record distro.
Oh, all right.
And I'm like, dude, you should fucking be reciting like children's books just with the British accent. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, you're up there with Samuel L. Jackson. You should be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he started cracking up. And then the other band, that Witch Kiss, they played.
Yeah.
I'm not usually that social at shows.
Right.
A lot of times I don't have my glasses on, so I can't. I may recognize you, like the silhouette of you, but I like if you're across the room, I wouldn't see you. So I went up to the kid and I introduced myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know, I'm Chris from Conclave, and he wouldn't even look at me.
Really?
And then I'm like walking away. I'm like, wow, this kid's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
usually you guys in bands,
Yeah.
oh, hey, man, how you
Right.
doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the guy from Conan, he came up,
Right.
he immediately bought one of our T-shirts.
Really?
You know, and then he chatted our ear off.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean?
Huh.
So, like,
Yeah,
just
that's-
bizarre.
That's fucked up when you run into people like that nowadays.
And I'm not
It's
usually like that, so I kind of
Right.
I kindly took offense to it.
Yeah,
It was
definitely.
like, oh, here I am, you know, putting myself out there,
Yeah.
introduce myself to the guy, and he's like totally a dick.
Yeah, and that's what fucking draws people like me back to being just fucking, yeah, I'm just going to stand over here and fucking ignore people.
Well, that's the thing. Like, going to shows now, it seems like it's really cliquey.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we come from a world where
Everyone's
we'd go and
talking to each
yeah, you
other.
just fucking knew everyone, and there was this, you know, the same people at every fucking show, and, you know, you didn't have to like everyone, but you
Now, like playing with these guys, every show we go to, everyone's so friendly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
bizarre. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like living down south. People are all nice to you.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, it's a different scene now. There was a brief period where it wasn't very nice around here.
No, it wasn't at all. You know what I mean?
But nowadays
Like,
it's
and everyone stopped going to shows because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the karate kicks started flying,
right. That's kind of when I stopped.
I was like,
and
you guys can keep that stuff. I don't
Yeah.
want anything to do with it.
yeah,
you know.
and I've talked about it on this podcast before. I think that's where sort of like hardcore people like us then kind of went to more heavy stuff, and bands like Neurosis and
Oh, yeah,
you know,
Crowbar and everything else like
stuff
that, you know.
That was kind of related to hardcore, but it was more just
And even so, after that, you know, you hear Caius and
yeah.
Fu Manchu. I love Fu Manchu.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I first saw them at the Rat,
yeah.
like '96 or something like
Oh,
that.
nice.
You know, but then you like kind of revert to some of the stuff. Like, I still listen to the same stuff I did when I was 16.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it takes a lot to
Yeah.
like blow my socks off with
Right.
something that's new. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I kind of hold everything that we listened to back in the day to
Yeah.
a real high
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah, and I think of it as how when I first heard like Number of the Beast or you know Ride the Lightning. There hasn't, you know, but every once in a while I do hear like a record nowadays where I'm like a Yob record or something where I'm
Yup.
like, holy shit, this is fucking, you know, hair fucking standing on the back of my neck.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. And
A couple weekends ago, we went down to Maryland for the Maryland Doom
oh,
Fest.
nice.
Because my singer / bass player Jerry
Yeah.
was in Warhorse
Oh,
back
okay.
in the day,
Yeah.
and they had they're doing like a couple of one-off shows this
Yeah.
year. So
The band that was on Deaf American
they were on
Briefly,
Southern Lord.
Southern Lord. Oh yeah, you were. Oh,
You know, Mike Hubbard was in the band.
Yep.
He played in Gozu.
Yeah.
So I went down with them,
Okay.
and they blew the fucking roof off the
Yeah.
place.
Oh, nice.
But it was cool because I got to see a lot of bands that I would have not
Right.
normally have gone
Yeah.
to see. I saw the band Lopan,
Oh yeah.
and they
Good stuff.
ripped it up, man.
Nice.
They kind of sound like Fu Manchu, Quicksand,
Oh, nice.
and something else all rolled into one.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, these guys are tight.
Nice.
And then the band Mothership.
Oh yeah.
They
yeah.
blew me away,
I've
too.
heard really good things
You
about
know what
them,
I
man.
mean?
Nice.
And like I said, it takes a lot to
Yeah.
wow me. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of a music snob, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Because I like what I like, and
Yeah.
I kind of hold my band to a high standard
Yeah, of
too. Where
course.
I'm like watching guys play, and I'm like, my fucking band will kill your band, you know. And like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of an arrogant dickhead thing to
Yeah.
say, but
But it puts you in a good, confident place, though. I think
well,
it's
yeah,
good.
because you know, a lifetime of self-loathing. You know, it's good to be confident now. You know,
Yeah.
but it was fun. That was a fun show.
Yeah. And as far as have you played with any other, like when you were in Panzerbastard, did you play with any other sort of bucket list bands that you
We played so many shows with
Yeah.
PB.
did you play the I Hate God show
No,
in
that was
Revere?
Bobby.
Okay.
That was Bobby.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of shows with like Ringworm.
Yeah. Nice.
Those are super nice guys.
yeah. Yeah.
Mobile Death Camp.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Did a bunch of shows with Slapshot.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it was
they
so
all-
long. It was,
yeah.
it was it wasn't that long ago. It was 5 years ago, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
But definitely Conan was a bucket list.
Yeah.
Mono Lord, we played with them last spring.
Yeah.
Well, last fall.
Yeah.
And Middle East upstairs sold out.
Yeah.
you couldn't even walk in there.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to look out into the crowd and see
Yeah.
everyone standing shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, of course. Nice.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, for Conclave, are you guys recording anything coming up? Or?
We're hoping to record by the fall.
Yeah.
We got probably right now 5 songs that if we just finish arrangements,
Yeah.
they're done.
Mm-hmm.
And between the 4 of us, we probably got enough for 5 more.
Yeah. Nice.
So, I mean, I don't want to make an album that's an hour and a half.
Right. Right.
And I'm trying to get them into the frame of mind where, like, hey, look, maybe we could do a couple of 5 and 6 minute songs.
Right.
So we could throw a couple more songs into the set.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Of
mean?
course. Yeah.
Because, you've been playing on the same songs for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
People want to hear something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people like the hardcore dynamic, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, like, just because you're heavy
Right.
doesn't mean you can't have a hook in your
Yeah.
song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course.
So
Yeah.
like a lot of the stuff I'm writing is kind of more melodic.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's still heavy, but
Yeah.
it's like it'll get stuck in you. It's almost like an earworm, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
so
good
it gets
stuff.
stuck in your head,
Yeah. That's the stuff I like, I think. Definitely. Yeah. So cool. Any shows coming up with them?
We have nothing booked. No,
yeah.
we the Conan one was like the last one.
Yeah.
And I mean, if something good comes along,
Right.
where we can't pass it up, we'll definitely do it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, nothing booked
Yeah.
right now. We're just gonna keep writing.
Yeah. Nice. Do you guys do?
Sweltering practice space?
Do you guys do any covers?
No, they
Yeah.
won't do any covers.
No. Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's not. In
Jeremy, the other guitar player, absolutely hates Kiss.
Yeah.
And one thing we could probably all agree on to do is Kiss.
Right.
But he hates
No.
it. Like, he told me one day, he's like, I heard rock and roll all night this morning. It ruined my entire fucking day, he told me. So a lot of times when he leaves to go to the bathroom when we're practicing,
You guys are playing.
me and
fucking
Jerry
Kiss
will play
songs.
like Cold Gin or something
Yeah.
like that. And he comes up and he's like, I've been gone for 6 seconds. You guys are already playing Kiss? He's like, what the hell? But there's some good songs. Like, I'd love to do DOA by
yeah.
Van Halen.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that would make a great
yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
Because it's not real fast and
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
fatten that up pretty good.
Yeah.
But
She by Kiss.
that would be a
riff.
great one. Parasite would be a great one.
Parasite.
Even though Anthrax already did it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
There's some songs by bands like that where I think if you played them for someone and didn't tell them it was Kiss.
Oh, they'd love it.
They'd love it,
you
you
know?
know?
But as soon as you say, oh, that's Kiss. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, people definitely.
They're stupid. My old lady hates Kiss.
Yeah, they're definitely a divisive band, but fuck it.
It's just ingrained in you now.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I like everything up until Dynasty.
Yeah,
The
same
Dynasty
here.
was terrible.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. That same here. I kind of stopped after
Like,
that,
I
but-
came up with an idea to make a Conclave T-shirt with like our images and like for the Rock and Roll Over cover.
Oh, yeah,
I thought
yeah.
that would be great. I haven't brought that idea to the band yet. I just thought it would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or like the cover of Love Gun or something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
right.
That'd be cool. I'll just stand it on the front. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because everyone our age likes Kiss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Even if they won't admit it.
Yeah.
They do.
Oh yeah. I'd say this is. I think I've done like 45 episodes of this. There's maybe been like 4 where we didn't talk about Kiss. So it's pretty universal. That and like skating, I think like we all kind of.
Oh yeah, definitely. I tried skating a couple summers ago.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Didn't work. I was skating with my girl's son.
Yeah.
Out in front of the house, and I went to Orchard and I bought a new deck and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and I skated. I hit a fucking pebble, and I ate
Oh,
shit,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
landed on my hip, and I was like, okay, it's time to put this thing away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not as spry as I used to be.
I know, it's funny.
I wish I was, because I still love watching kids skate. You know what I mean? Think it's awesome.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, thanks for fucking coming down here.
Oh man, it was a great time. It was good to even come down here.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't doing this, I'd come down and hang out.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
what I mean?
Yeah. I'm actually gonna have Iron Maiden's playing over here.
Oh yeah,
On,
yeah.
August 1st, so I was probably gonna invite people over. It's in the middle of the week, so but anyway.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
What are they playing on this tour?
I think they're doing like a greatest hits thing. It's like one of the. They're not doing like a whole new. They're holding like an album.
It's funny because in 2000, was it 2009? 10 years ago, they did kind of like a greatest things. They somewhere back in time.
Oh yeah. I would
And
that one.
they played everything up until Seventh Son.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was at I call it Great Woods.
Yeah,
Everyone,
I
I don't know what the hell the name is. I call it Great
Great
Woods.
too, yeah.
And they played for, I don't know, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah. And every song that you wanted them to play, they played. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they were like, after this tour, we're not playing any of the old stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, nobody's going to go see you because everything now is like, it all sounds the same to me. I mean, and that's kind of sacrilege being a lifelong Maiden fan, you know? But like, everything that they come out with, like from, what is it, A Brave New World on?
Yeah, has been kind of the same.
Kind of all the same, you know what I mean?
And I like some of it. I bought a couple of the records, and I like them, but it's kind of just the
like
same.
Those couple ones they had in the early 90s, Fear of the Dark.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that when it came out. And
no prayer
after revisiting it a little bit, I went back, and there's some pretty good songs on it.
Yeah.
You know, but Adrian Smith wasn't on some of that stuff, so...
Right.
I didn't
he was always my guy.
Yeah, him, definitely.
Yeah, and I don't even know why they have 3 guitars in that band at this point. It seems,
I don't know either. I don't even think I don't even know if one of the guys plugged in. I don't even know.
I know he's like the Vinny stigma of
that's what I was gonna say. I didn't want to. I mean, I love Vinny and everything, you know, but like, is he? I mean, Vinny is plugged in. Sometimes he hasn't been.
Yeah.
But, he's just like the guy who's he's like the flavor of that guy. Yannick Gers, is he like the Flavor Flav of like Maiden? You know what I mean? Because he just runs around.
Right. Yeah. I wonder where that Vinny stigma myth. I always thought that was just a myth because like. I've seen Agnostic Front a number of times, and he's playing guitar.
I could have sworn someone told me that they took a Marlboro package and wrapped it in electrical tape and taped it to his strap and got like a little 1-foot patch cord and shoved it through the end of the box and then plugged it into the guitar. And we're like, oh, you're all set. You got wireless. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's true or not. You know what I mean? But I just always thought that hysterical.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, now Craig Silverman, he is the fucking man.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's one of my favorite.
You can hear Vinny's plugged in, and you can hear him, like, accent certain parts.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's playing the Eliminator or anything like that. You know what
exactly. I loved, what was his name? The blonde guy. I think he played in AF briefly. Now he's in the Eulogy.
Matt Henderson. Oh, what a monster guitar player that guy is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's one of my favorite, and like just when you think of like hardcore guitarists, he doesn't get mentioned as much, and he should.
No, he really should because he's a very, very good guitar player. Yeah, and good for Kevin Norton, like being in a band with that guy. Yeah, I was stoked for them. You know what I
mean? Yeah. They just did a split with Sick of It All. That's pretty good.
Yeah, when they first, I got a Eulogy shirt that I think is like from one of their first runs.
Oh, nice.
You know, because my old lady, she's an old hardcore chick from Boston.
Yeah.
She used to date Lloyd from Eye for an Eye.
Oh, okay.
Like way back in the day.
Yeah.
So some of the old Boston hardcore artifacts she has.
Oh, nice.
You know, like the first Eye for an Eye shirt. She's still got a.
I had one of those, a red one, I think, or something.
No, hers is like a teal blue.
Oh, okay.
She's got Eye for an Eye. She's got an original like Balance of Terror Wrecking Crew T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
And she's like, I should sell some of this stuff. I was like, you probably get some good money for it, but then I think you regret it. You know what I mean?
Of course. I've regretted selling records and shit. But, like, I sold my... I had a copy of the first SSD album I sold.
What'd you get for that? $5,000?
$680.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was sealed.
But, it's funny because a friend of mine had Judge.
Yeah. Oh, that Chung King.
Yeah, Can Suck It.
Yeah.
I think he got $4,000 for that.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you got $4,000 for a record?
That's fucking crazy. I don't have anything like that at this point. The only one I have now is the SOA 45 with Rollins, but that's the only real rare thing I have at this point. So,
yeah, Hardcore Artifact. She's got a of them, and like, you know, she was there, you know. Like, it's funny. We were cleaning out a couple months ago, and like, we found like, I don't know if it was like a first run of Wrecking Crew stickers.
Oh, nice.
But they're like paper stickers.
Oh yeah,
with like a picture of the band on it. And like they're all so young, you know what I mean? It's probably from like '87 or something like that.
That's awesome.
You know, it's great.
Yeah. They're sort of an unheralded Boston hardcore band. They should be mentioned.
Probably one
the
of
same.
the best Boston bands of all time. You know what I mean?
They should be
I hold them up there. I think even a higher regard than Slapshot.
Oh yeah,
because they melded everything together that I love.
Yeah, same here.
Like GBH.
Yeah.
And Celtic Frost.
Oh, yeah.
And you can hear all that in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the hardcore punk thing now is like there's no more punk aspect to it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
It's all
it's all kind of together
and stuff like that. But the Wrecking Crew, they had it. You know what I mean? And they should have went further.
Yeah.
But
and they like because Keith and then like Greg Delaria, people like that around the scene were metal guys that were in the hardcore scene at the time. So all that together.
Greg's a great guy too.
Yeah, yeah. And then having that band like just pull that sort of world into
and they did a reunion that I'm sure Keith talked about it.
Yeah.
For the marathon bombing.
Oh yeah.
And everyone did 4 songs that day. Yeah. And when the Wrecking Crew went on, that was one of the moments where the hair stood on your neck.
Oh yeah.
Because it brought you back to like 1988. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did they do that intro?
Why Must They? Yeah, they did that. They did that. They did Confusion.
Nice.
What the fuck else did they do? They did 2 more.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. It was just such a great
night.
Oh
yeah, you know definitely.
That was a real fun night.
Yeah.
Too bad it ended like everything the way it did, but you know.
Yep.
I'm surprised that nobody put together that kid was going to run off with all the money.
Yeah, I know.
Because if I'm not mistaken, that show was around the time of Maryland Death Fest.
Yep.
And that kid Mike, fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
He didn't have a pot to piss in because he worked at Petco in Lower Alston on Western Ave.
And then he was at that festival.
No, and then all of a sudden he was flush with cash.
Right.
And him and his cross-eyed girlfriend, Paulina, they flew to Maryland and they had a big hotel room.
Yeah.
So nobody put that together.
Right.
That money, you know what I mean? And even that kid Andrew, he stole one of my guitars and he was all, they're all doped out. You know what I mean? Like,
that was a fucking mess.
No, I hope that kid doesn't show his face back around here. He's going to be in some trouble.
He's a juggalo. I remember. There were people found him a couple of years ago, and he was
face painted up.
Yeah,
drinking Faygo.
Right.
Fuck.
Good stuff.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, man. On that note.
Yeah, we'll end it on that.
Yeah.
We'll end it on Juggalos. Start off with Kiss and end on Juggalos.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
You got it, man.